Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Hope you're doing well today, shining and glowing wherever you are in the world. Today is a beautiful, bright, sunny day, and it's a perfect environment for this conversation I want to have with you about activating your inner goddess after 60. Now, one of our vloggers, her name is Astrid Longhurst, wrote this article, and I was so intrigued by it and, just wanted to explore further. But she writes about how all of her life she thought, me, a goddess? It just doesn't match. But she said as she's reached her 60th birthday, she realizes that there is an inner goddess inside of her that is waiting to be expressed and exposed and just celebrated in her life. And this article that she wrote is about how to activate that inner goddess. Now, many of you are probably sitting here thinking, well, I don't really feel much like a goddess. Things are changing physically, emotionally, psychologically in my life. And, maybe I feel a little bit sort of disjointed and not connected to that beautiful inner self. But Astrid's got some great ideas here. So, what makes a goddess? What makes a woman feel like a goddess? Is it just beauty? Not really. Is it self-confidence and self-awareness and a sense that there is something deeper? There's something more magical about what you have to offer the world and what you have to offer yourself. Now, she says the word age for her, AGE, represents annually gaining enlightenment. Which I think is great because I think, of course, it's not enlightenment in the traditional sense. It's certainly not the spiritual sense of nirvana and release from the world of this physical world, beautiful, sort of freedom. And it's not really enlightenment in the sense of, I figured it all out. I'm enlightened. I'm knowledgeable. It's got something to do more with the opposite. It's got to do with recognizing your vulnerabilities and realizing that you've got so much left to learn and to experience and to celebrate, that life is just a beautiful gift that we have now in our 60s, more time, perhaps more wisdom, as I'll talk about in a second, to actually fully appreciate. And it's a great article. I encourage you to read it. The link is below, and it's just all about finding the journey that we've had has created wisdom, and a kind of, just a passion and a purpose in our lives that is undefined, that we just have never thought about defining before. It's about kindness. It's about being kind to others, understanding, not judging, being more accepting of the world as it is in all of its, amazing complexity, but also kind to yourself, kind to the person that that you've created. And it may be that you look back on your life and you think, I should have done that, or I could have done this, I didn't do that properly, or I made that mistake. But I think as you get older, as Astrid talks about, you start to just be more at peace with yourself and kinder with yourself and more compassionate, more compassionate with the woman that you are, and despite everything that you might be sort of thinking about as being imperfect. We are imperfect. This is the beauty of being a goddess, is goddesses are imperfectly perfect. And that's kind of the beauty of the story. So a deep sense of love for people. I don't know whether you've experienced this, but I definitely, when I go out into the world and I maybe sit at a coffee shop and I just watch people, I'm not connected in the same way to the work environment or to, to people that are rushing about in their busy day. But I look at people and I think, I really get it. I know what that person's going through, especially moms with young children. I get it. I want to reach out and just give them a hug. I just have that compassion for others that I just appreciate and value. Also, a respect for this beautiful planet that we live on. That we want to be more sustainable, more gentle, less maybe consumer focused, but more, giving back to the world that is precious to us and which we want to sustain and protect for future generations. So it's that's the opposite of the enlightenment, where everything is taken care of. This is enlightenment that shines a light on your world, yourself, your friends, your planet, your country, your comrades on this journey. So here are the 5 tips that Astrid talks about in terms of activating your inner goddess. Okay, these are great. So the first one is to romance your body and fall in love with your life. Begin each day with romancing your body. She's written a book on this, and it's in her biography in the article. But it's all about just loving the body that you're in. Yes, it's not perfect. Yes, it has changed enormously since you were in your 20s and 30s and even 50s. But it's a body that you can every morning wake up and breathe and say, thank you. I'm here. I'm going to move this day through this day with ease and joy and grace. I'm going to be that person that, you know, is so grateful for what she has. And smile inwardly. This is a great image, actually. Smile inwardly at your body cells and thank them. You know, thank them for being healthy and well and hopefully, you know, able to give you the strength that you need to do the things you want. And I know there are lots of women in our community who look inward at their body cells and think, oh, there's imperfection there. There's even maybe some illness or something that you're trying to deal with. But it's just looking inward and smiling at and be with gratitude at what you have as a body. The second thing, though, is related to that, which is work through pain with courage and grace. Now, as I mentioned, lots of us are dealing with all kinds of, you know, chronic illnesses and things that require some medications, but we've got to work through that with strength and, and grace. I think those are the two words. Listen to the messages of your body. You know, yes, pain moves through phases and, you know, discomfort moves through phases. Maybe you've had to have some surgery or there's something that you need to have surgery for, but work through things in your own time and, you know, be a kind of beacon of light to others. I know we have our Patreon supporters group where we get together on Mondays and Wednesdays in what we call a friendship lounge. And it's just where everybody gets together and we talk about, well, life in lockdown as it started, but then it was more just, what are you doing? How is life? And so many women are, you know, just dealing with, now, I guess now after the pandemic is slowing a bit, to actually take care of medical issues, you know, that they needed to take care of before, that weren't life-threatening, but they have to do them. And, you know, just, you know, make sure that you take care of every aspect of your physical body and deal with that, whatever pain and you know, and discomfort comes along with some grace, and reach out to friends. They're here to help you, especially women over 62. The third thing is to become more aware of who you authentically are. I love that word, and it's so complex, because what do you say when you say, I'm an authentic person? What does that mean? Well, it means that there's no separation from who you are inside and the person that you show to the world. And this isn't like something you switch a light switch on. It's not like one day you're this and next day you're authentic. It's really allowing yourself to be, as Astrid says, swept off your feet by your goddess, by the woman that is beautiful and, you know, and precious and wise and, yeah, and glowing. She says, sing and create a symphony of you. She's actually a very good writer, and her images are just beautiful. But this is your time. This is your time to shine. Forget everything else that's gone before and just shine with the glow of being a goddess. You know, being enlightened in your wisdom and your you know, the lessons you've learned. The next thing is to create your own inner world of beauty. Yeah, we know that we're not perfect. As I've mentioned, we know that our wrinkles are appearing. We know that there's all kinds of laugh lines. I look at them like love lines, like you know, they're lines that show my love of life, my love of happiness, and my love of laughing and smiling. I'd much rather have a memory of a million smiles than, you know, worry about a few wrinkles here and there. It's all relevant. I think also she talks about, you know, recognizing the abundance that we have, even just in simply being here. And the abundance that we have in our lives is what a goddess deserves. I've got a beautiful little statue of a Lakshmi goddess, which is an Indian goddess, one of many, but she has just such a beautiful authenticity to her. She's got her hands reaching down with coins coming out of her hands, like abundance and wealth, and nothing wrong with wanting that in your life. But at the same time, she's got hands that are reaching up, and she's sitting on a lotus leaf, which is kind of the symbol of how beauty comes out of the mud, you know, out of nature. And it's that balance between abundance related to material things and then abundance related to the spiritual world. I love that image. I think that's really, really pretty. So you are beautiful. Refuse to accept the limitations and the stereotypes that the world has given you. You are you, authentically, beautifully you. And celebrate that. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect. It'll be you, but you are what you are, and that's great. The final thing that Astrid talks about, which I just love this too, is just embrace your inner child, your wild child. Embrace that bohemian self. You know, you are a free spirit. We were raised in that time in the 60s and 50s and 60s, 70s, where there was that huge transition. We are the original wild children, the wild women. And that is, to me, what a goddess represents. You know, someone that has seen life from all sides and now has something to offer. You're not invisible. You're not irrelevant. You are here to teach your world and also to celebrate yourself. So you're here to write your own rules and cultivate your own life. This is such a great story for me to be telling. I hope that you've been inspired by it. I want you to go out, whatever your situation, whatever your challenges, and just be a goddess today. Be the goddess of wisdom, the goddess of love and compassion. You've got it. This is you in your 60s. So how do you find yourself in your 60s? How do you perceive yourself? Do you think that you're getting free of those limiting beliefs now? How are you expressing your goddess? I'd love to know. Please leave your comments in the section below. Thank you, Astrid, for this lovely article. Please read it and check out her website and all the things that she's doing to celebrate her inner goddess, and let us know how it relates to you. Take care, everybody. Have a fabulous day wherever you are. Know that you're loved and respected and adored by all your sisters in the 60andMe community. We're all on this journey together. Take really good care of yourself. Lots and lots of love.